Welcome to TechScope. Today we're going to explore Claude Sonnet 4.5, a powerful new step forward in AI that's nearly here.
So Anthropic is coming out swinging with this one, making an incredibly bold claim for their latest release. But what does it really mean to be the best AI coding model in the world? Let's unpack that. All right, let's break it down. Anthropic is calling this thing a new champion. So what's that claim really all about?
And you've got to understand, this isn't just about writing cleaner code. Anthropic sees Sonnet 4.5 as more of a partner, one that can build these complex autonomous agents to actually perform tasks on a computer and do it better than any other model out there.
A big claim needs big proof, right? So naturally, Anthropic drops some benchmark data to back it all up. Let's get into the numbers. Okay, first up is the SW Bench score. You can think of this as a super tough, real-world coding test, where the AI has to resolve actual issues pulled from GitHub. Sonnet 4.5 scored a 77.2%, which sets a new record and beats out its main rivals. And then there's this number, 61.4%. This is its success rate on something called the OS World Benchmark, which tests how well the AI can do practical things like navigating files and using apps. That is a huge leap in real-world usability from the previous version's score of 43.9%. Okay, but this next stat, this might be the most impressive one of all. The previous model, Opus 4, could work on a complex task for about 7 hours straight. Sonnet 4.5, it can maintain focus for 30 hours. That's a fourfold increase. We're talking about opening the door to massive, multi-day projects. But here's the thing. Anthropic isn't just dropping a smarter AI on us. They're rolling out an entire toolkit for developers. Let's just quickly run through the highlights. You've got a new native VS Code extension. There's a cool checkpoints feature that lets you roll back changes if the AI kind of goes off the rails. And new memory and context editing tools help these agents run for longer without getting lost. But the real centerpiece of this whole new toolkit is the Claude Agent SDK. You know, Anthropic is basically handing over the keys to their own workshop. This gives developers the very same infrastructure that powers their own flagship product, which means they can go out and build their own really sophisticated agents.
Okay, so the official stats look great on paper, but what happens when this thing gets out into the wild and meets real-world developers? Let's check out the first impressions.
AI expert Simon Willison got early access, and wow, he was blown away. He threw a wildly ambitious challenge at it. He asked it to refactor a core part of his own software's database, and he found that it performed beautifully. It delivered a comprehensive, tested, and totally production-ready solution.
Now, the team at the newsletter Every had a more nuanced take. For them, the big headline is that Sonnet 4.5 just feels way faster and more controllable than even Anthropic's more expensive Opus model. It's better at following directions, which makes it a more dependable day-to-day partner.
But it's not all praise, not by a long shot. YouTuber WebDo's ran a live test asking Sonnet 4.5 to build a website from a single prompt, something a previous version had handled pretty well. The result this time? A buggy, broken website that just wouldn't display properly. Yeah, his verdict was pretty blunt. He was not impressed.
And this split, this divide is pretty clear across the wider community too. Over on Reddit, the feedback is really divided. On one hand, you have lots of users praising its incredible speed, calling it a huge upgrade. But on the other hand, you have people reporting they're getting superficial code, arguing that for really complex tasks, its main rival, GPT-4 Codex, is still the winner.
All right, so after all that, where does Sonnet 4.5 really land in this super competitive landscape?
So, when you put it right up against its biggest competitor, a pretty clear picture starts to emerge. Sonnet 4.5 is faster, significantly faster in some tests. And for existing Claude users, it's a massive upgrade, giving you better performance than Opus for a fraction of the cost. But, and this is the big but, a lot of developers feel that GPT-4 Codex still wears the crown for those really difficult, deep production-level coding problems.
So, what's the bottom line? Look, Sonnet 4.5 is a fantastic leap forward. No doubt about it. It's fast, it's effective, and it's great for everyday coding and brainstorming. But has it really earned that best in the world title? Well, for the most complex work, it seems the jury is still out. And you know, this leaves us with an even bigger question. In a field that is moving this fast, how much does being the best model even matter if you just get dethroned in a few weeks? The pace is relentless. This is just the beginning of what Claude Sonnet 4.5 can do. If you're excited about where AI is heading, stay tuned. We'll keep exploring the tools that shape the future, right here on TechScope.